My excitement levels for the next Tesla earnings call have just shot way up because after the last one, it wasn't terribly interesting. They didn't really have that much new information. The biggest deal about it was that Elon Musk wasn't on it, which had never been done before. But now, just after the Q3 earnings call, Elon is saying he will be joining the Q4 earnings call and that he'll be providing an updated roadmap because 2021 has just been this nightmare of supply chain shortages. This was on top of a thread where Elon was talking about how the Cybertruck is meant to be this intentional, incredibly futuristic product that's taking a bunch of technologies from the post-apocalypse era and bringing them into today. This mostly stemmed from a discussion primarily about Tesla's yokes, which is very controversial for people who haven't driven with it, but it seems like anyone that's tried it for more than a month feels fairly comfortable with it. Elon has restated that yes, the Cybertruck will be having a yoke, but he also mentioned that it would be ideal for the yoke to be steer-by-wire and have it change depending on the circumstances, which is, I think, a more common complaint of the yoke, especially when you're doing hand-over-hand turns. Elon is saying if you're in a tight circumstance where you're kind of going forward and backwards a lot, not having to turn all the way and just having the yoke turn the wheels more drastically under slower speeds would be nice, and then when you're on the freeway and traveling at high speeds, then you can turn it just as much, but it won't adjust the wheels as frequently. So I don't know if we should take that as a confirmation that maybe the Cybertruck could have a steer-by-wire system. Hopefully they talk more about that on the earnings call, because this was in response to Elon saying he hasn't provided a Cybertruck update, and it's basically been 2 years since the unveiling. And since the unveiling, we've only gotten a few replies here and there, a few occasional sightings of rear-wheel steering, Elon dropping that it won't have door handles, and mentioning that side view mirrors will likely be on it, but easy to remove by the owners. So for sure, there's still a lot we don't know about the Cybertruck, but the reason I'm more excited for this earnings call is just an updated product roadmap, which is genuinely something I think Tesla really has needed for a while. You know, they've actually unveiled just as many products as they've delivered, and now that the Cybertruck is basically confirmed to be late, that means that they have missed so many deadlines throughout all of the products they've announced. I mean, it was 2017 when they unveiled the Semi and said production would start in 2019 and the Roadster would come out in 2020. Now we're going into 2022. Both of those products still haven't been delivered yet, and of course back in 2019 they unveiled the Cybertruck, said to expect them by the end of 2021. We're here at the end of 2021 and we're still not even close to mass production of the Cybertruck. It's most likely going to require Giga Texas to be operational and 4680s to be more fully ramped. In fact, if anything, they've taken more information away from the Cybertruck website, now not detailing prices anymore or configurations. The motors, the powertrains, the range estimates they go forward with could be totally different now, and I think transparency and honesty would help a lot with the Tesla fan base. It's not necessarily something Tesla has to do, because at the end of the day, yes, they're supply constrained, demand is through the roof, so Tesla could just shut up and never say anything about future products until basically they're ready to deliver. I'm not saying this is financially something that they should prioritize, but for the sake of, you know, just being honest, and for the sake of getting millions of people with reservations on board between commercial companies waiting on their Tesla Semi orders, and I'm sure there's thousands of people that have reserved a Roadster, especially people who earned a lot of referral credits towards one, and they've heard nothing about it for over 4 years now, coming up on 5. And of course, we have over 1 million people who have reserved Cybertrucks, and they're not really getting much else other than the website slightly updating to say production will be in 2022 at some point. So I think what would clear up a lot of confusion and help a lot of people understand what Tesla's product roadmap looks like is if they just kind of started with a clean slate at the beginning of 2022 and said, okay, as of right now, this is what we're prioritizing. Like, we want to get the Giga Texas and Giga Berlin facilities operational, and we want to ramp the 4680 batteries. And while we're on the subject of product roadmaps, I would love it if they detailed what Model Ys specifically they're building from Giga Texas first. You know, like, are the 4680s just going to go in the performance Model Y? Are they going in long range and performance? If that's the case, what's going to happen to Model Y production in Fremont? Just kind of detailing what the long-term plan is with 2 Model Y factories in the US, and then detailing after we've ramped the 4680 Model Y, that's when we want to prioritize the Cybertruck. And does the Tesla Semi need to wait until the Cybertruck is ramped, or can the Tesla Semi be ramped in, you know, limited volumes at Giga Nevada and just used for internal use? Will it cost what Tesla originally said it will cost? And then when do you expect the Roadster to be done? You know, just kind of updating everyone on where everything is being built, definitely updating the web pages, which are incredibly dated already, and talking talk about like what Gigatex's production capacity for the Cybertruck is meant to be optimized for. Are you hoping to build 200,000 trucks a year, 300,000 trucks a year? Just any kind of update when it comes to production like that I think would be really, really useful and informative. Just like how on Tesla's YouTube channel they were detailing like, here's how we do our crash tests and how they're the best in the world, and here's our glass team and how we develop glass for Tesla. Just like they provided us updates with that, I would love it if they did the same thing with Tesla Semi development, Cybertruck development, how they're prioritizing range and efficiency and aerodynamics, the rear-wheel steering option, how that's going to work. Basically, demand for the Cybertruck is already through the roof, so it's not, again, like they need to do this stuff, but I think so many more people would appreciate it. I definitely would, and I get that there's a certain amount of Osborne effect Tesla has to avoid, and they don't want to announce too much to get people to stop buying their current day products, but at this point, demand is through the roof. I think they can afford for people to kind of stop ordering current day products, because it's looking more and more likely that all of the non-performance Teslas they make are going to be sold out in 2022 within a matter of months. So you're kind of back ordered enough as is. You don't have to worry about present day sales being hurt too much. And it's interesting to see Elon already coming back on earnings calls just after missing one. So he probably won't be back for every single one, but him being present on the Q4 earnings call should be interesting because he's going to talk about deliveries that Tesla achieved throughout all of 2021 while also talking about what to expect throughout the next year, which gets me pumped. And on top of all of that, they've also talked about, you know, this $25,000 Tesla coming within 2023 or 2024, but because so much of the world has changed in the economy and with inflation, I hope they can maybe change their tune on what that Tesla is supposed to be, and it's fairly likely not going to hit $25,000. If anything, is Tesla still planning for that to be just a completely autonomous vehicle without a steering wheel and pedals and basically just dedicated robotaxi access? Or is it meant to be something people can buy, in which case, why not just apply the single piece casting and structural pack technology that Tesla is applying in their Model Y line to the Model 3? The Model 3, with a single motor and single piece front and rear castings with the structural pack, you know, how lightweight would that vehicle be? You could put in far less batteries and still get the same great range. How low a price could you get a Model 3 with all of the new technology they've learned from Model Y ramp? That makes me wonder if they could actually get it down to $35,000 or lower. You really need a whole new car design to achieve that record low price point? I don't know, but feel free to let me know what you guys want to hear about at this next earnings call down in the comments below. Thank you to everyone helping me save up for my Model Y, hopefully with AMD Ryzen and 4680 batteries. It's just gonna depend on pricing though. There's so much we don't know, but a Tesla of some kind is coming. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have an excellent rest of your day. Take care.